ISU wins in an incredible spray down, incredible series.
Pistol whip. He's already planting. What is that? Oh, but the vertical position will be able to take one.
When I'm back on the climb, you're only with me in the back of my mind now. It's a cycle, it's a path I can't find. Sisyphus, premise is the ride. Good shot. Vulnerable. Maybe it's my fate and it's all my fault, and I know.
Ooh, Kirito's also finding a kill. Kirito's not a double kill. There's one man left. And Luigi's doing. Luigi's doing it. They take the game. And my prediction's right. I want to say it again. Say it again for chat. Say it again for
Your
chat.
prediction was right. My bad.
Yeah.
And now this Menace is pushing down blue stairs, showing no signs of stopping. What a nectar pick! Oh my gosh! What the heck, Servant? How did he get away with that? 3 won't be able to take one. Takes 2! Double kill. Now for a 1v1. The swing comes in, tries to go for a pre-fire, and the prone shot to take Pencil.
Stay away from the drop though, so I don't. They only love me when I'm back on the climb. You're only with me in the back of my mind now. It's a cycle, it's a path I can't find. Sisyphus, premise is the ride. You think that you know me good? You think that you know me?
They're already
Always advance, say how I fail, you know I stand. Raising the bar, I gotta expand. Top of the charts, I'm setting up camp. Pounding my stakes, I put on my tent. Shoot for the stars, they fall in my head. Stick to my guns, I don't even flinch. Can push all you want, ain't moving an inch. I rarely miss, you know I'm relentless. Ain't got a choice, no way to prevent it. Just who I am, and I don't regret it. See what I want, then I go get it. Follow my gut, I'm happy I did it. Beat all the odds.
Hello, friends. Good evening, and welcome back to Midwest R6, week number 5. We're past the halfway point now on the regular season. I'm one of your casual Sojourner Kai, here joined by Boxed Kimchi. Kimchi, how are you doing on this fine evening of Siege?
I remember I said tired earlier, but heck of a lot better. The Yankees, we rallied, and the Guardians, oh god, I'm gonna get canceled. They're getting destroyed after they brought in their closer, so I'm feeling a lot better right now.
That's good. Some of the baseball matches around the continent going pretty well in your favor. And, well, how do you feel about tonight's Siege match that's also coming up? A Division 5 match, one that we don't normally peek into, but one that might give us some different insight as to how some of these teams play.
It is still D5, but one still made Midwest R6, and they're probably better than most of us, to be honest. That's why they're competing in an actual league, and I play solo queue. And these are the two better teams. Both of them are 3-1. I don't know which one was the loss for GVSU, but NDU only lost to the top team in Division 5. So it's looking like it's going to be a high quality match, regardless of division or standing in the overall season.
Yeah, those are some pretty good accolades to lead things into it here. And to kick things off as well, we're going to go ahead and look at some stats for these players, starting off with Garden Valley State University. This is sorry, was it Garden Valley? Grand Valley. I'm so sorry. I'm used to Garden Valley, but you know what? Maybe they'll be gardening after this match, depending on how the result goes. But PMH is going to be that. PMH and Wagon are both of those players that are standing at the top of the Siege player rating. 0.13 divides both of those players. 2 kills more in the favor of Wagon is what pulls that player slightly ahead. But overall, a pretty decent spread. But then you look on the far left side as well in the form of Duku, who actually has the most kills for their team at 79 overall. Pretty impressive spread on those entry fraggers, and 2 great supports standing behind them in the form of Potato and DG. So this is looking like a pretty strong contender for D5, like you had mentioned. We didn't know who the Lakers had lost to previously, so but with their opponents being in a similar record, I can imagine that they're also going to be quite the intimidating factor to go against.
And that is going to segue us cleanly into North Dakota University's lineup. You can see these kills actually very similar numbers wise, just on the raw stats, a little bit less on the SPR. I think it's their third guy is a little bit below 50, while Grand Valley have a 3 above 50 SPR, but otherwise the kills are pouring in for this team. 1 guy below 60, and Ramen's only 3 off, so these guys not slackers when it comes to fragging. And I'm hoping that means these two teams, high kill totals. We're looking at a very aggressive, very bloody game.
And to hammer this point even further home, we're going to show off some head-to-head stats between a couple of these players from both of these teams. You look at the KDs as well. Even though Wagon 78-58 is 20 kill positive, Tanks is 60-45, so 15 kill positive overall. But the Siege player rating on Tanks is slightly higher. The survival rate is almost identical. The kills per round is almost identical. Both of these teams are absolute titans in this division. And what we know is that after the end of this best of three, one of them will be 4-1, but one of them will be 3-2. And from these initial stats, it's really hard for me to pick out exactly which one that is going to be. But we do have some stats to look at for what they might be doing over time for these players as well.
Now, play over time, again, work in progress. We'll see these stats pop up as the spring 2025 season comes around. But for now, it is these numbers look really disgusting in the good way. I feel like I should have phrased that better, but these stats for Tanks are kind of nuts, and this is more of a player to watch until the next semester. But 52 Siege player rating with a 1.3 KD is just feels filthy. And if this doesn't scream carry to you, I don't know what does.
1.3 KD as well on your ranked teammates is exactly what you want to see. And I think it's something that we'll see in the next player to watch as well from GVSU. I think the colors are slightly swapped around here. This is North Dakota's players. So we're swapping over to the back on the other side now in the form of Wagons, also on that 1.3 KDR overall, having an absolutely impressive season so far from these opening 4 weeks, now going to the 5th week and probably looking to pad these stats even further. A player to watch, player over time for the next season when that rolls over at the start of the next year. But now that we've got all of our players out of the way, we can also talk about the maps that we're going into tonight. We're starting off on Chalet. It'll be GVSU's pick. A wonderful start, map that we have seen quite often. In fact, I think every single week that I have casted, I've been off of 1 week. I have casted Chalet between two teams, and then Skyscraper not too far behind it. How do we feel about these maps for these teams tonight, Kimchi?
Just looking at it generally, because you mentioned it's been casted almost every single week, it is the most picked map right now. 3 picks ahead of, I believe it is Clubhouse, which is the second most picked. 53 times we've seen this map already in 4 weeks, and this is a comfort map for both of these teams. GVSU rocking a 2-to-1 win to loss ratio. They've won both of their maps so far on this, or won both maps. Yeah, won both maps. That's how that word works. And 14-3 for North Dakota. If it could get any better, like that is legitimately just up the win ratio. Like I think it's almost double the win ratio, to be honest.
I think the surprising part about that, though, is that is North Dakota University stats, but notably, Chalet is the map that was picked by Grand Valley. And so you would think that those stats would favor North Dakota specifically, but it's very clear that both of these teams feel extremely comfortable coming here. It's a map that we've seen a lot of strats have been developed on. And so I think that this first map will really determine how the rest of the series goes, because it's not so much a map anymore of stats. It's going to be a matter of momentum going into, well, it'd be more of a brick wall in the form of Skyscraper. And of course, maps can only be upset by the players themselves. We have a player to watch for your Midwest bets this week if you have got your points in, and that is Duku over on Grand Valley. I've got to make sure not to say Garden Valley because it's not a brand of ranch dressing, although it is Midwest, so who the hell knows? But anyway, Siege player rating of 54.44. Now, this is a little bit different from what we saw from the overall stats. This is specifically on Chalet. Duku loves this map, and I'm sure that Grand Valley is right behind this player as well. Again, player to watch for your Midwest bets. You can bet with the channel with points in the Discord if you do ever join the Discord server. And you can go ahead and win some imaginary points, have some bragging rights at the end of the season. That's all it is. Just all kind of fun and games at the end of the day. I am noticing that 33% survival rate. So this makes me think that this player loves flying in aggressively. We'll see this player get some aggressive entry kills and then get traded out immediately, but definitely a defining factor when it comes to playing on Chalet. And I think that's all we have. So we're joining up in the lobby. And before we join into the lobby, we're gonna have a. Oh wait, we don't have a. Okay, we're still joining in the lobby. So
We still
the
got top
stats.
5.
Yeah, we still got time. We do have the top 5 video, but I think we got to wait a little bit for that one before we get into it. Anyway, so Grand Valley's player to watch with Daku, 21 and 14 on Chalet. I mean, am I right in reading that this is a very aggressive player, Kimchi?
I would say so. 21 kills. You're only surviving a third of the time, but you're also picking up a lot of the kills. That is your entry fragger. Like I don't. The operators don't really correlate to the players themselves. They're more of just the images we have. But Buck would be one of those fitting operators, just breaking things open, running in and killing some people before swiftly taking your exit from the round. It does seem to be that way, and I'm again hoping for some really aggressive siege because honestly, it's really fun when you can keep it fast paced.
I agree. And we saw those kill numbers as well from both of the teams that as they have gathered them over the last few weeks. So Chalet, it's not quite Coastline, right? Coastline, again, hasn't been in professional circuit for a while, but Coastline, in my mind, is a very frag-heavy map, and Chalet can, depending on the way that things unfold or the way that setup goes, can be pretty frag-heavy, so it might be conducive to these teams' playstyles as well, because they might just try frying each other from the get-go, and it could be a very explosive, very chaotic matchup overall, I would say.
I do want to shift the conversation really quickly to Skyscraper because it is a bit odd that this is North Dakota's pick because it does seem that their only map or their only game of it is a 6-8 loss. Meanwhile, GVSU neutral at 10 and 10 in their 2 trips to the Skyscraper. So it is a bit of an interesting pick. I mean, it obviously means they are confident because that is an overtime loss. So they are pretty confident that they can cook something up and flip their fortunes in their favor.
And that they can. And it looks like we're going to be ready to jump into a top 5 video from some of the great clips that we had from last week. Submit your clips as well through the Midwest Discord, and we'll see you the next week on those clips presented by Ubisoft.
Okay, dude. The 2 picks. If you can fade him into running at you.
Rest in peace to Feeny. Got my own Topanga.
Bravo with top square.
But I feel close to it. Got the speakers knocking on these doors that keep on opening. Got the investment in your circle. How you supposed to be? If I play the girl and she don't like it, I ain't posting it. Rap game is the beast. Popping up on the screen. Laptop in the dream. Top notch with the keys. Blast off at a reach. Hopscotching on beats. Cause I just keep stepping on squares. These numbers increase. Whoa.
One on the right, one on the right.
Money up.
Oh my god!
Baby, the price. Roll up the tongue, I'm seeing it twice.
Nice, that's one square.
Try to grant me
Pushing
free
in.
wishes,
Okay,
but I get what I want, don't need no genie. This right here a ticket, ain't no
Nice, Kevin! Let's go!
now they froze. No, there ain't a thing that you can't teach me. Rest in peace to feed me.
Warden was upstairs. Warden was upstairs. What's Warden dead? That's Warden dead. That's Warden dead. It's in connector. Can you go for plant? Someone blue. Yeah. Plant you default. The last one was connector. She was connector.
Blue dead. Good guys. Good day.
2 times kissing by themselves, 20 simultaneous. They said
30 seconds.
Logan has denial.
Down, left side. Oh, left side, Logan, left side. Two, another one left side.
Where are Jackson?
Above here.
Still left. Down. Here. One coming on EXO. 2 bottom EXO. Last 2 bottom EXO. Coming your shield right now. One on the shield. One coming to the door. Down. Behind you, Logan.
1 on 4 remaining.
I have ace. We already won it. I'm good. I already killed the thing.
Okay, so we're obviously not the game. A little bit of a delay. There was some PC issues happening with one of our teams. I think it was Grand Valley. I can't remember specifically which team it had been that was having some
Grand
PC
Valley.
issues. But while they get the ranch cleaned off of their PC, we're probably going to go to a slight delay while we get this whole thing figured out.
Actually,
Oh, are we? Oh, wait.
no, I'm gonna talk about how Ions The clip of the century.
Ions was robbed. I agree.
The ace. The ace of the century. World's greatest 1v5 to save a round. I don't care it was in a 4v5 or they ended up losing the match. That play was nasty. Justice for Ions.
For those of you who don't remember what happened last week, on the opening map that we had for Ferris State University up against, was it PFW? Yeah, Purdue Fort Wayne. Purdue Fort Wayne had a player that had to leave after the first round of Chalet due to an emergency that cropped up immediately. And so they played out the rest of the map 4v5. Purdue Fort Wayne player Ions would eventually go on to close the game out at an 18-8 KDR KD, still losing 7-3. But the important context there is that Ions would win a 1v5 ace in a post-plant scenario in the most spectacular fashion, shoots one player through the floorboards from above, rotates into bar to back bar where the wall is opened on top of main stairs, kills the two players with one clip of the SMG-12, rotates down the stairs and gets the player on the plant by default. I mean, it was absolute cinema the whole way through without reloading the SMG-12, no less. It was quite beautiful, and I do believe we were robbed of a great opportunity there.
Back to the game at hand. I will always be talking about that now because that play was awesome, and getting to see it live made it feel all that much better. But I really do hope we can get to this game because these two teams, it's a battle for currently second place. GVSU still have to face Trine, so it could theoretically be a battle for first if they can grab that game and Trine can stumble somewhere down the road to another team. So this is a really important game because it's either GVSU go 4-1 and they can contest for first, or it's, I believe it's UND, not NDU. I've been told that's like a kind of a deal to mention that. But North Dakota is potentially able to at least secure second for themselves for the time being, and it's like this game really matters a lot. So having that, I mean, it's either you forfeit the game or forfeit the map right now, it seems, is the unfortunate situation, but I'm hoping they can at least maybe convince North Dakota to let them get the full 3 maps in because this is a super important game and neither team can afford to let this one really slip through their fingers.
Yeah, and I think even if you're standing on the other side of this matchup, you don't want to have a forfeit go into this week because of all the preparation that you've done, all the time that you've spent getting into this match, and most importantly, the experience, the way to pad your stats, and being able to show off that you are genuinely a serious team when you can face off against someone with a similar KD ratio to you. Sorry, not KD ratio. Well, I mean, it is kind of similar KD ratios across the board, but a win-loss ratio. And so when you have that other team that has a similar win-loss ratio and you're able to beat them, you are then definitively making that gap for yourself by proving that you do have a right to be at the top of the leaderboard. And if there has to be a forfeit, sure, you get the points for it, but you're not proving yourself to be at the top of that leaderboard either. And that's what really sucks for the team that would stand to benefit from this. Is like, yeah, sure, you get the win, but you don't get anything else from it beyond that.
Yeah, but also win's a win. It is kind of a lose-lose situation depending on how you view it. Like, it is, you need the round wins, you want to win the game, but also it's like, did you really win if you have to forfeit the first map? Like, if you get a free win, it's like, what was it? If Space Station Gaming, if they won that series where they got 2 free wins, or no, it was E United, sorry, and they got those 2 free wins, and they just won the third map. Like, that would have been not really a legitimate win. It would have sucked. They lost that series 3-2. Don't worry, it was a reverse sweep anyway, so who asked?
Yeah.
It was significantly worse.
It was still a very hotly contested match overall. Well, we're being told that we're going to be sending this all to a break to hopefully buy ourselves a little more time and see where we are with this match. Hopefully we'll have some Rainbow Six when you come back. Cool.
pick from IUPUI. The flash comes out, trying to push out connector. I'm sorry. And now it's looking like a 1v right there, waiting for the drop. It go down. We'll see one. Push when they got him pushed back.
Gets another one. Gets another one.
Oh, they're gonna.
It's total calamity, total mayhem inside of the server. Out of nowhere, they find the round back into their favor.
Holding up for the blood, the wave! And I think he might just find it!
Tap tap, yeah, I want that. No lines, I don't cut back. Sweet, salty, and all that. Let loose, come get that. Can you play that back, back, back? Can you run that back, back, back? I'm trying to play that back, back, back. I want that. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Right here, can you feel? Let's go. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Right here, can you feel that? Ooh, you feel that? Ooh, the real back. Ooh, I'm still that. Ooh, you catch that? Ooh, I guess that. The best back. Yeah, yeah. 30,000 up on my pallet. Might jump out if I'm wildin'. Catch my flow, I'm so stylish. Tap tap, real smooth. Can you play that back, back, back? Can you run that back, back, back? I'm trying to play that back, back, back. I want that. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Right here, can you feel? Let's go.
Yep.
I'ma give it all I got, can't quit, can't stop. I'ma be shut it down like this. You ain't coming to my house, you ain't about what I'm about. I'm taking nothing down. Defense wins games, whatever it takes. I bring it. Defense wins games, whatever it takes. I bring it. I'ma give it all I got, can't quit, can't stop. I'ma be shut it down like this. Defense wins games, whatever it takes. I bring it out.
Welcome back, friends. We're finally back after that short delay. You would think we were a bunch of batter pressed between two hot irons with how much waffling we've had to do, but we have all the players in the lobby now, and we are ready, just about ready to get this match underway before we talk a little bit more about the match. So we do have Labs as that decider map as well. I think that was something that we hadn't really got it on to the end yet, because we are talking about how this match is going to be hotly contested. We think that statistics wise, I see you shaking your head, Kimchi. What's the holdup with Labs on your opinion?
I just don't like the map. It feels big for bigness sake. It's like I mentioned it before. It's like Hereford if it was all like basement.
Oh yeah, Hereford is absolutely massive. It has like what, 4 floors as
It has
well? I
4
can't remember.
floors. I think it's 1 bomb site per floor, but I can't even remember. I know basement and attic, and no one remembers, and garage, because garage has the really stupid wall that you could just get onto site with for free with a Monty.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why everyone hates Hereford.
Yeah, and there's a reason why it hasn't ever been out of a quick match. I don't play quick play very often. I don't think I've played Hereford in a very long time, but I get what you mean in terms of the map size. And I was saying in like the pregame when we were talking about the different maps that Labs in some ways reminds me of pre-change Bank, where you don't have a lot of the rotates to bring yourself around to the sites quite as easily. If you're committed to one side, you are committed to that side for a while until you make the full rotate. I mean, you think about connector and electrical on one side of the second floor of the command and server bomb sites up there. And then you're like, well, now I have to go around the outside to the CC stairs entry, or go all the way around to warehouse or up warehouse from the backside, and that all those angles take forever to rotate onto if you're not committed, and especially if you don't have IT wall open. It just feels it does feel big for bigness sakes in a lot of ways, but a lot of teams like it. I mean, we've seen it played a lot, especially in Pro League, and a lot in the LCQs that actually just concluded last night. Labs was seen quite a few times in those games as well. I think there's something to be said about it being a big map, and teams actually do enjoy setting up there, at least if we're to believe statistics at the end of the day.
Look, there have been good games on. I'm not denying. I believe I've casted games of Nighthaven before. I just personally don't like the map. It's a trend of R6, honestly, for me personally, but it is generally like, if you want good gameplay from a competitive scene, it has that, because there's a lot of interesting plays you can set up there, a lot of different strategies you can set up for each bomb site
in game.
And I'll give it that. It did make a very diverse field, as we are told that we are clear to go into game number 1 on Chalet. Freedom!
We're free. We're able to talk about operator bans. We're able to talk about Chalet being unfolded by these teams here. We'll see if which one's reigns superior, because again, based off of stats, I honestly cannot predict this match. This will be either a barn burner or one for the ages, the match of the century for D5, whatever you want to call it. As we get into our first bans here, North Dakota taking away the first attacker. It's going to be that Monty.
Bye, Monty.
Bye, Monty. Yeah, everyone wave goodbye to Monty. Last week we saw Monty and Blitz banned twice in the Purdue Fort Wayne against FSU match. And I remember that because we saw Fuse Shield come out a few times because they were like, we need a shield in our attacking strats. It just did not work. Flores as well, another ban on Chalet that we see.
This is 2 weeks running we've seen Flores ban, by the way. 2 weeks running we've seen a Flores ban. I don't know how I feel about that.
It's very... I think it's Chalet specifically, though, because I think we saw it.
We did see it on Chalet last week. Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
so there's something to it.
Getting smart. I do want to mention that last week on stream we mentioned the 99th and 100th bans for Monty. He got 35 more that week.
Oh, I did not know that.
135 bans.
That... I don't think anyone's getting close to Monty in terms of bans then, at least
Azami has 130, so, and there's 131 and Monty's 136, so
and if there are other matches running concurrently with this,
yeah,
it'll probably pop up even more.
Look, the bans will tell you we hate Doke, Monty, Azami, and Miro. We just don't want to see them ever again. And I mean, yeah, fair enough. Like 3 of them are bulletproof operators. actually. That's kind of crazy.
I guess,
maybe-
like,
Yeah,
when
maybe
you
not
have...
getting shot is a good strategy in a shooter.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being
Right.
defused by attackers.
You're kind of cheating the system a little bit there. You're just like, nah, bullets don't hurt me. It's like that one kid on the
Oh my
recess
God,
round.
No,
It's like,
I work with kids,
I'm
so yeah, I
invincible.
experience that like all the time. One kid just is like, no, I'm on base. This is base now. Stop it.
Uh-oh.
And that's gonna be Scopos. That's gonna be Scopos. Just you see someone engaging you and you have the option to dip out if you have the fast enough reaction speeds, or just click their head. I mean, that is usually how players are. It's just click head.
I got you because you're over here. It's like, oh, you know what Scopos is?
Attackers have
Is
located
when you're
a bomb.
playing against
5
a game of
seconds.
battleships against someone who doesn't know how to play battleships.
They keep moving the piece.
They keep moving the piece
Attackers are
every
heading
round.
out
Yeah,
to defuse a
that's what Scopos is. It's like trying to hit a ship that just keeps moving every single round.
World's
Like,
fastest boat.
yeah, add some extra rockets to the back of that thing. Being able to teleport and have a camera and having a really decent gun in that silence weapon that she carries around is pretty dang powerful.
Also,
of course,
acting
you
as
do.
your own shield. Yeah.
That is true, yeah. You'll act as your own deployable shield. I think there's also a lot to be said about the intel that you can gather with that operator, because when someone sees the Scopos shell, they know, okay, well, we have to kill this, otherwise...
Flank angles. You can set up a lot of weird things. We haven't seen like how fleshed out it can get, honestly, if you ask me.
Oh, definitely not.
It's gonna
There's
get
so much
funky.
potential. First floor defense, by the way, sitting inside of kitchen and dining, so a lot of the setup will go onto the second floor. First bit of incursion is, oh no!
The drone
Rocky
came in
not
so
totally unaware. They have no idea that he's... Yeah, absolutely fantastic drone. They had no idea he was coming in from K9. The Wamai will be the first one to fall as well, so it's a very good point of inference for
they
the
have other
attack.
calls too, I believe.
They know that there's a mirror window and closet here. It's a very interesting placement for it, too. I guess if you're trying to contend the rotate into master or a section of piano, it's not a bad place to be. Also a little vulnerable if you throw in some flashbangs and rush it, which you have frag grenades in the gridlock. Bomb goes out. Review.
Watch Mira. Man, this is a really slow pace, actually. Do they have any impacts? Ooh, this is actually literally me wall open. As he's gonna take half his health right there. They've gotten onto the bomb sites. The spray just not enough. Cole gonna survive on 5.
Shots ring out. 5 HP, practically dead. You touch him, you hit his shoulder a little bit too hard. Shoulder check him. I'll probably kill him. And there's the shoulder check. It'll be actually Brahmin, the next one to fall. Tano with the buck. Gets the headshot to claim one more player. And it's only 2 remaining. Tank's one of the players to watch for University of North Dakota. Cole will make it so that it's not actually a flawless round for Grand Valley. TMH will be the one to fall for their team. But it's still a 4v2 situation. A C4 flies out! Cole is making as much use of this 5 HP that he has remaining as he can. Sees the player go in for the default plant spot. Can't really stop it there, but the Vector 45 will be able to stop the gridlock in its tracks. A swing wide by the ace player makes it so that there's... They don't know he's in the hallway! He drops the case, and that's the time! North Dakota wins because they're unable to... Their opponents in Grand Valley are unable to execute in time, and being able to lay inside of that kitchen hallway is all that is needed to get the first defensive round win.
5 HP in a dream. Cole clutches up so hard there. How? Oh my god, that one bullet. We kind of been saying that jokingly recently because we've seen so many players go to like 2 health and then immediately die in the next random spray in a wall, and like I was not expecting Cole to go 5 HP and pull out a triple kill to save the round. He didn't even need to go for that last kill, by the way. He could just ran. There were only 3 seconds left. Like, they were theoretically fine.
The location of a bomb.
Let Grand Valley continue the chase.
Reinforcing wall! Calibrating air compression.
The thing that surprises me the most, as well, is that the ace was the one who sprinted in to try to get that kill while holding the case. It was a bit of a moment of panic from Grand Valley, really. Instead of letting the Dokebi hold down the dining side, they knew that the C4 had already gone out from Cole, the remaining player in the guide, and if they had known how much HP he had left, they would have planted with full confidence, but instead go for a play that hands North Dakota the win against all odds. They even lost the first player in the form of Rocky, who was sitting on that master office. Sorry, I keep mixing up master bedroom and office. But sitting on office, getting shot from K9 Mouth. You would think that at the man disadvantage, things wouldn't work in their way, but North Dakota, they always have an extra man on the defensive half in the form of that timer, so that's going to be the one that wins it out for him.
Oh my god. Cole, you beast. Just... Why sitting? No, it's Warden sitting on it. Usually we see one my sit there because he can constantly throw the frisbees out. Just keep that deployable up for way too long. Just significantly longer than any deployable has the right to stay up.
Well, crucial library stairs too, no less.
I just have flashbacks to rounds where all like 4 or 5 grenades will get burned up on my discs because it's just so hard to get rid of them.
Claymore's ready.
You can like maybe take an IQ to try and clear them out, but no such operators available. They also have the Ace, again, a very powerful operator, probably the most picked hard breach operator in the game, just because of the combination of the safety of the Selma charges versus the AK-12. But notably, a counter that, or an operator that is countered by the Wamai. You throw those bread loaves out and they get caught in the Wamai discs, and you've lost the bread loaf as well. So, notably good operator choices on the side of North Dakota for the defenses here. Capital boats go out into library. It looks like there's going to be an attempt of an execute here. A bit of a... I'm not sure if that was a misfire on that bolt. I don't know if that's where you want that smoke to be on that window there. Kev continues to hold down the library stairs. We'll eventually retreat, though. It's only 55 seconds left of the round, so as a roamer, you've bought all the time that you need to. And Grand Valley have been slowed down persistently here.
Attackers drop the
words
diffuser.
Warden and Roamer is crazy to me. It's actually a trade. So first blood comes super late, and it's immediately answered there by Nev. And they're just getting, like, Grand Valley are just getting entry now, and they still need to get downstairs. And North Dakota are starting to set up and bunker down on site. All this. Half his health.
15 seconds left.
Over half his health. Down to 37 now. And they're still trying to find his own, like, a weak point here for North Dakota. Down to 7 seconds. They need a plant now. We're finding some miracle kills. That's going to be one for Ramen, though. That's not who you want getting a miracle kill. It's going to be a nice air, a trio of kills, and the diffuser's going down. And it's all on Cole now to get this retake. Finds the first kill. Onto the Ash, 10 health, and it's a downed Ace. He's or not down Ace, down Capital. He's gonna finish it. They know where he's coming from though, and it's gonna be the Ace able to finish off the last lick of health with 10 to go on his health bar. Saves the round after they pulled it back.
PMH with the hero play really there. I believe it was the R4C that we saw ring out in those kills to secure the round for Grand Valley. Bit of a slow attack that ends in a flurry of kills, and if you were to show me an image of the round situation at the 20-second mark, I definitely would have said North Dakota had not a whole lot, or had a lot of room to work with because of the short timer and having a mirror up and everything, but because of the heroics of one certain Ash player, they give themselves enough space to plant behind the bar, and the Ace gets to hold down the site without any intel. The Wamai falls, and that'll be an attacking round win for Grand Valley, tying things 1-1. As we now... It shouldn't have worked. I agree. I don't believe it should have, but it did anyway. So that's just what you get at D5. You also get a second floor defense now in the master bedroom and office. So I'll be extended over towards library with the Mira. I'll be interested to see if Grand Valley choose to
Must locate and defuse
deal
the
with
bomb.
this in any way.
Back to Scopus is the interesting thing. We didn't really get to see anything come out of the Scopus particularly like special in that first round, just because of kind of how it was executed, with it coming down to the final two members, Cole and Tanks, being the shining stars of that round. So hoping to see something more than just a little bit of intel coming out through the second shell for Neb here.
Heartbreach has been passed around a couple of times too. And Ducku is now on the ace. We've not seen him play that operator.
Okay, ace is a blast. If I had a reason to use an AK-12, I would want to do this as often as possible. Like, that gun is just unfair. Oh, it's just unfair for Neb. Takes their head off. And that is your Ash down. That is your rushing entry down for the rest of the round. You still have the Bucks. You have something to create a lot of space, or not space, but a lot of vision if needed. That is a really nice utility and hard fragger to have. Just disappear.
With that open as well, the defense can use that as a camera going forward, as long as it doesn't... Well, it gets shot and meleeed here, but you'll get some information.
That shell is down, no doubt in my mind.
You delayed so much time, though, for that. Oh, that's not an angle you want,
Bomb diffuser has been dropped.
Not a headshot, sadly.
Can't shoot through that, but I'm sorry.
Trying to bait them out, I think, with those shots, or just a misclick.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
Well, I guess really, like, Tanks doesn't have to do anything here, because in the 1v1 there, it's all on the mirror to mess that up. Ramen will be the next one to die, though.
I called him Wallace, and I had to call him Wagon properly. Oh my god. That spray is kind of disgusting. Wagon would be able to trade back at
Attackers
least.
dropped the diffuser.
But 3v3 now, Buck trying to open up the ceiling a little bit. Body bomb out, and the spray from Hall. And Library Hall is going to be pretty nice. Down to 18 on Tanks now. They know where he is. The C4 goes out. Grenade in response. No one gonna fall, but Tank's forced to back off. Another frag coming through.
Attackers have located a bomb.
Gonna find him still. 18 seconds. The swing is big, but it's gonna be traded back by Neb. Neb finds the double. It's now a triple. It's a quad for Neb. And North Dakota take round 3 on the back of the Scopos. And what did I say? Show me something special. And Neb must be listening right now, because that was phenomenal.
Great little retake from North Dakota. Again, Grand Valley, their hesitation in some of these attacks and inability to deal with the mirror windows right away, especially, has been part of what's been slowing down these attacks so much. And even with Tanks not taking the aggressive peek onto
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many bombs as they
with Tanks not taking the aggressive peek onto the library stairs there when the Duke Heavy swings wide, they still manage to buy time because they're still so worried of someone sitting back there. You have 2 frag grenades go flying in before the players swung on K9 to die there, but you're still exposing yourself terribly to the rotate from Master Bedroom as well, in case someone had been sitting there. So, in terms of operator choice, the Mira shining through. Of course, you have to throw in a zombie pan because you have to on Chalet, but then that opens up the opportunity for Mira, and that makes things so much more potent overall. And that's...
They know that Neb knows that Tanks is getting pressured, so he's covering his cross. See you later, and they're rotating down. But covering his cross from bedroom right there, so if when he gets swung on, he's able to answer immediately. It's just so perfect to instantly even out those numbers. Oh, well played by North Dakota on that one.
Set up onto kitchen and dining again. This time, again with the Mira. Got a castle brought into the lineup, too. So, some unique lineups being drawn about North Dakota, showing that they're not exactly one-trick ponies when it comes to their strategies. On the other hand, for Grand Valley, I think the only thing that's really changed has, well, I guess there is a Zofia there now, so maybe I'm wrong, but...
There's a Soft, there's a Twitch. They really want to make sure they have this golden island, it seems. As there's the castle barrier down office already.
Most notably, the mezzanine wall into office has been opened already, so that first preliminary shot, no way! That is not something you want to be peeking, Ducku. There's a castle with an ACOG at the end of that. In the rotate, catches the player who tried to rotate into K9. A quick flick from Rocky on the doorway as well. Tries to make claim to the Zofia of Wagon. A concussion grenade will go out, so those shots will be delayed, but a smoke here to the Wamai's rescue is able to hold this place resolutely. PMH can't continue for the rest of the round. Rocky, the hero for a little while until Wagon cuts him down from the main wall, and Potato knocks down tanks as well. But little do they know, there's a ramen sitting underneath this wall. The shotgun could be making all the difference here. Cole with the slug shotgun, a bit more of a DMR really than anything. But 2 shotguns remain for North Dakota, and 3 relatively healthy operators aside from the Buck. 87 HP for Grand Valley, with 1 minute and 10 remaining, clearing the utility, and they'll have plenty of time to work with here if they just play their cards right. However, Cole cutting down the Buck player makes that timer a little bit more strained now.
You hear the straight up spam coming through, punching holes in things.
I mean, punching holes in Buck? That's what happened.
They actually have such a strong position again, because they basically have a sniper rifle. Like, we're just no joke. Kaid shotgun's a sniper rifle, right? Like,
oh, 100%.
Yeah, so they have such all. No way Cole finds one, and now with the vision, the smoke goes down at the worst possible time, and Rocky just gonna be sitting here. He's gonna just little spray right there with the SMG. It's gonna be another round win for North Dakota, back to back for them right now.
North Dakota definitely feeling they're hitting their stride and absolutely earning all of those rounds that they have won. I mean, 14-3 record on Chalet so far. That is 2 games where you've won all 7, and your opponents got 2 and 1 respectively. That's how the math works out.
17 to actually, yeah, I think it's 17 to 4. That's how math works.
At the moment, yeah.
Yeah,
so North Dakota University. Excuse me, I almost made the fatal error that I have written in my notes from earlier.
We just call them University of North Dakota and North Dakota University. Eventually, one of them has to be right.
Right, yeah. And
you can't be mad at it. Okay, they have UND, so it's University of North Dakota. Okay. Again,
but
I don't know what the beef with North Dakota is, but I want to stay out of it in neutral as best I can.
Calibrating air compression. All set.
5 seconds left.
Okay, I do have my notes right. Sorry, I had miswritten the site on that one. I was wondering, how did we go back to kitchen again? But no, it was bar. Anyway, North Dakota University, the Fighting Hawks, I believe is their mascot. I looked it up earlier.
Look at him. Look at him stanced up there. Hawk wearing a gaming headset. Fire logo.
The green color is quite nice too. 3-1 as well, so they've already won half of the half. I guess the first quarter of rounds that they need to catapult themselves towards at least a 50% win rate at the end of the half. Of course, going to be looking to make more rounds out of it, depending on how Grand Valley continues to attack. And with the more, I would say, beleaguered approach that they have to their attacks, Grand Valley... Wait, nobody's on... Oh. This could be a good entry into basement, actually. A lot of the site... You can look at the location of these players, too. A lot of this setup is actually on the second floor. Cole fires through the wall and claims Ducku, the player whom we had said was the player to watch as well on Chalet. Not making quite as much of an impact as he would like, getting traded out that early. Cole with the great little pre-fire and the great premonition on that angle. Rocky will make it 2, piling on the misery for Grand Valley. North Dakota pulling ahead and absolutely in flying colors. A minute and a half left in the round for Grand Valley to pull something out of this.
Nev is on this power position. They can't get in the hallway, and they can't flush him out of the hallway. I don't know if they know if the Midas are set up. Oh my god, Rocky. Using the best, my favorite gun, just wiping wagon off the face of the earth. Gone. Or that's not a Gone 6. I'm an idiot. Oh, that is.
Oh, that was a Gone 6, yeah.
God, I never see this thing.
I think in the advent of some of the operators being, hold on. There's a swing from PMH. They might actually claim one. It gets Ramen at least, but he's looking for the other players on the site. But the thing is that they're all off site, and Case is in piano. So there's a lot of work that has to be done in order to retrieve that for the team. And even though these are Heartbreak charges that have been opened up by Grand Valley, North Dakota is using them now as rotate holes. And to great effect as well. PMH is getting shot from fireplace stairs.
Wow.
This is the attacker's bomb side now, but you can't really score a goal if you don't have the ball. Tanks is brought down to relatively low HP, but DG is brought down to 0 by Nev. Leaving only PMH on the library stairs no longer. Rocky makes it 3 on the round.
And
C1.
What the heck happened there?
I think my general feeling is that Grand Valley has the right idea for their attack, but they're playing a little bit too cautious. They're not going off of immediate information, and information that North Dakota has not particularly changed about their defenses. And because North Dakota hasn't had to change anything about their defenses, they've looked extremely dominating in these rounds that they've won, because they're just like, all right, we'll sit back with our setups, you know, our default setups. We have the mirror window on library, we have the mirror window sitting inside a closet, we have a deployable shield and piano. It's the usual stuff, right? And because North Dakota is allowed to sit behind these angles specifically, Grand Valley is not really like aggressing, it feels like, into them. It does feel like North Dakota is being given a lot of rounds because of the power of their setups and how Grand Valley isn't really challenging them all that much. And I'm sorry, it is harsh to say, but I do think that that's how it's being won, because North Dakota is simply playing better Siege at the moment. They are playing extremely well, and that's why they're 4-1, but who knows, maybe that'll change. Maybe North Dakota just doesn't know how to attack Chalet either.
Defense
or at
is
least
the
not as
comfort
well.
round for most teams. Like, it is the comfort round for most teams, since it is significantly easier to defend than attack at times. For, I think, every map in the game, actually. Some more than others. Bartlett University, rest in piss.
Oh yeah, Bartlett University was a time in Siege.
100% defensive round. You can't win on that map on attack, ever. Oh, is there a run-out coming in? No, there's not gonna be a run out. They heard some gunshots going out. Thought that maybe someone was gonna peek them. They knew where they are. They know where the Scopus is. Exactly where the Scopus has been for the past like 2 rounds now, but still, intel is intel. They need to get in at some point. They've kind of been slowed to entry, and sometimes it's just because a player like Cole gets a beautiful spray to take just to uneven the numbers instantly. Sometimes it just feels like you said, Grand Valley are a bit nervous. They're playing a little slow and a bit too cautious for their own good.
Oh, no,
that's
not
a cross
cautious
match. That's a cross match. Sometimes you just kind of don't think, because it's such an obvious spot to put Frostmat. You think they're not going to do it. They did it, and that is Rocky taking that off of PMH. And that might be worse than the Frostmat by a little bit.
The other thing that feels pretty bad about that Frostmat is that Ducku, as long as that debuff is on your screen, will now be hobbling around. Never mind, won't be hobbling around anymore. Will be put out of his misery by Tank sitting on that mirror window. The Scopo shell is not available because of the transformation location. Nev is very well known because of the Grim Bees, but because of the deployable shield's location and the fact that there isn't the access to the Ash anymore, you don't have the ability to clear that deployable shield out. And both of the EMP nades, while used, do not get the Tide Claw off.
High enough. They're not high enough. They've been way too low. That's a problem. Now this mirror is so well protected. What a response to the swing by Tanks. And it's 4v2. Now this mirror has been holding this one spot for so damn long in several different rounds now. It is on it. Just what are you supposed to do to flush tanks out of this raid?
Send another one in. Send in DG. No, DG's gonna fall.
Someone covering them.
One more player on the rotate. It's not going to be a flawless round for North Dakota, no matter how you count it here. But Potato has one more player caught on the rotate, but at 43 HP, that's going to be a fight that you eventually lose. Neb shoots through the window onto K9 Balk, and that'll be another defensive round win for North Dakota as they close things out at 5-1 for the first half.
Very dominant showing so far. They didn't miss a single step. They missed what, round 1 or 2 was it that they lost?
It was round 2 on bar when it was that flurry of kills.
Yes, that triple kill into the almost triple kill. Yeah. Oh, that was legitimately the best chance. Like the second best shot Grand Valley had at winning was the round they won, because the best round they had at winning was the first round where they kind of made a heat of the moment error, which happens. Like, nerves are nerves. It's tough to overcome them, obviously. High pressure situation. And you sent the wrong attacker to go do the running and the clearing instead of planting, and that's a tough way to lose it. But the rest of the rounds have really been kind of cut and dry in North Dakota's favor, and that's not what you want to see with a team that you're supposed to be really even with.
Maybe defense will change their fortunes. However, 5 rounds is a pretty deadly round count to have, because as soon as North Dakota win their next round, they force overtime guaranteed and are only 2 rounds away from winning it all. And again, the comfortability that they have on this map is something that needs to continue to be noted, because they are showing that in spades in their setups. Grand Valley, maybe they're also comfortable on defense. So there's always 2 halves to a game of Siege, right? Grand Valley, maybe they have a flawless defense. They go 6-0 compared to North Dakota's 5-1, and that
would win them the game.
That would win them the game, but we can only speak in hypotheticals, and we can only speak to what we're actually seeing in this exact moment. And what we're seeing right now is the fact that North Dakota have looked a lot stronger on their defense. Have looked like the more comfortable team so far, and I think that this will be one that gets closed out pretty quickly, contingent on how the rest of this round goes. Now, there is an angle being held by a wagon on that pool table inside of gaming, looking all the way up into library. Oh, yeah, interestingly, no Mira. Instead swapping out for an Azami or a Rooney.
Usually you want this position to be held by not even a Mira specific. Oh, Wagon's gonna at least pick a first kill, but they'll have to capitalize on it as they continue to poke and prod. It's finally gonna pay off, but usually you at least want some kind of, vision to the other side so you can get some spray throughs or some cheeky peeks. But it's paying off so far.
Activated tracks.
Oh, PMH, that's siege timing for you.
Reloading.
Rocky gets one.
Everyone's favorite tactical shooter moment.
Tracks out.
What is the timing, bro? In fact, what is the timing on Wagon's swing into Fireplace there? Rocky makes it look easy as he collects the second kill for his team.
This is just 8 kills, I think? Is that for Rocky?
Yeah, the bit rate's a little bit hard to see. I think it's 8. I think you are right. It's 8 and 4 for Rocky, 7 and 2 for Cole as well. Not a player to be underestimated in this fight list.
Oh, they use both impact nades to get this entire wall open. That's gonna put a big wrench in the plays of Grand Valley, not gonna lie.
There we go. Things have cleared up a little bit for us now. It is definitively an 8 now.
I thought we went down for a second. I was worried.
No, we're good. We're golden.
Oh, Skrillex went down in all that time. C4, baby. 2 C4 kills. Oh, they get... What the hell, Neb? Are you kidding me? What a peak. And gets the flick as well. And Rocky's picking up a double kill. The plant is going down. This is like the second lunchbox of the game. Rocky gonna get, or Neb gonna get sacrificed here to Daku, but it's just gonna delay the inevitable tanks. It's up the kill, and it is 6-1 for North Dakota.
Yeah, that also makes it 5 rounds in a row for the attack there. Even though Grand Valley is on what was considered to be the easier side, you do have now the issue that you were staring down match point. You'll have to string together an impressive 5-round streak in order to tie things up to force overtime.
Attackers need to locate and defuse as many
But North
bombs as
Dakota
they
look
can.
very well prepared to take
First
this.
basement. Yeah, this is weird. That's the first basement. It is the
This is the first basement.
Also, you
Wow,
did
you're
say
right.
easier half, but I'm going to
Attackers
say
have
that it
located a
also
bomb.
easier does not make it easy. You still got to work for those wins, and North Dakota are definitely making Grand Valley have to work for it. And now, a lot of work cut out for them. 5 straight round wins. They're going to pivot over to the Mira. Obviously, you need Bandit or Kaid, whichever you prefer personally. They're going to go with the Bandit. And that's a lot of confidence in G here, as Bandit tricking
10 seconds
has to
remaining.
go pretty hard to keep this garage door nice and safe.
5 seconds left.
And it's a glass. Oh my god, it's gonna be no. It's gonna be double smokes. It's gonna be a
Attackers
double
objective
smokes
is to
rush.
defuse
Are you
bomb.
kidding me with the glass? Oh, this can go. This can go insane. Triple smokes. Oh my god. Please.
That's a lot of smokes.
Execute this, North Dakota. I love seeing these glass rushes because they are so goofy and insane, and like, you never get to see glass pop off. This is the one time glass gets up during siege, okay? Guys, I believe they're clearing with regular grenades right now, trying to back off G. As they're going to blow up his batteries, and they're going to set him on fire as well, and they're going to get this wall open one way or another, damn it. And the play is set up. Just got to lay down the smokes and get in there.
Got the first step of attacking basement done for North Dakota. Now for them, they have to try and play a little bit of vertical if they want to clear this Mira off. They could smoke it off too. They do have an Osa staring down this angle, which will give them a lot of opportunity to cut down anybody who tries to rotate through sight and even through that blue hallway. But the second step is getting some vertical control too, which Grand Valley does seem to have a lot of... Oh no, it's smokehouse in here.
They can't see them get them run around blind and spray. As he finds the shots, he finds that he's at the edge of the wall and assumes they're going to be at a shallow plant. Tanks is firing through as the glass obviously going to be able to trade back the Toto. But it is Dunkley picking up the diffuser kill as they don't know where these players are tucked away for Grand Valley. And
They think he's over by Bins, but he's just on main
trying to smoke.
stairs.
Yeah, they full sent that one play, and now they got to figure out how to recover. C4 is down. I don't think they... No, they can. They both their C4 is up. Okay. That was mirrors. Never mind.
And this is what I'm talking about needing to get the other components, the other checklist points of a basement attack done here. North Dakota surely had a great strat in mind, but as soon as it falls apart, just because of the good ears of Potato, not a great shot from Rocky. Wagon, on the other hand, though, well prepared in that dining hallway to remove the head of the Capitao. North Dakota's numbers are dwindling. Neb is the next one to go in. Wants to try and grab that case, but can't quite get past the SMG-11. No, the shots go missing. Takes a little bit of damage, but doesn't die outright. However, there's only 30 seconds remaining in this round.
No.
Still have a couple players upstairs, but Cole swings around behind Ducku. Clears the player that had been on those main stairs. They have to worry about the mirror now without any smokes to be able to deny its sight here. But the problem is you have a player inside of the rotate. Wagon claims Neb as well, so that Bravo, who had gone in initially, is no more. At this point, you're just playing for frags. You're just playing for stats. A couple of shots from PMH. They know that there's one planning behind the main here, but the Glaz is caught unawares, and G will get the last kill onto Cole, who had been playing in that spot behind the shelves below main stairs. A defensive round win for Grand Valley, despite North Dakota's best attempts to pull off a smoke plant with the Glaz. They'll stave off defeat for another round.
Well, it could have been, but that really was... That was just kind of the fatal flaw that comes with these full send. Glaz is going to just mow you down as we plant in triple coverage smokes. If that play doesn't work, 95% of the time, there's no pivot play. Especially because they had to sacrifice their thermite as well, so they couldn't even open up more of the garage door if they wanted. Like, it was really... We're banking on this play working, and we're just gonna have to hope someone can go on the roam and find some kills while Glaz covers off an entire room by himself. Sometimes it works, sometimes you can find some really crazy frag plays to come back into the round, but usually the diffuser's on the site already, the defense has it covered, and they're just holding all the angles they need to.
North Dakota looking for a similar kind of attack from that attacker lineup. You have Ying, Blitz, Grim, and Lion, and Gridlock. This is going to be an extremely fast plant if things go their way. However, Grand Valley seems kind of prepared to deal with this, actually. They have a Thorn and a Legion, two operators that are very good at stalling things out. The Mira for the intel, because it's Chalet, you need to play Mira if it's not banned. And, of course, the Aruni to deny any sort of utility going in through some doorways and hallways. But some of the setup is also on the upstairs floor. Rocky just waiting for this drone to give him the go-ahead. Pings out the Mira. They know there's one in back bar. Mira, run for your life. There's a man with a shield, but no! He has a C4 in his hands. A guy named G. We'll be claiming the life of a guy named Rocky. A diffuser is planted, gets it down at the death of the round there. Takes down to about 28 HP. I mean, exactly 28 HP. Brought down to basically none. The case is planted. This is a very hairy post-plant situation. 30 seconds remaining for Grand Valley to be able to go for the counter defuse in a 2v4 situation. They know the player there. One inside of Mudroom. It's one from Cole down. A shot from Neb onto Wagon. PMH is here on the shot, though. Cole gets one. A nade goes through. And North Dakota wins the round off of a rush play. Not the round that you expected to have them win, but one that they pull off anyway, despite the chaos.
Not even just a rush. A rush where the rusher dies is just crazy. That opened with the rushing player getting dropped, and then UND were just so able to pull that back. They really got full control of pool room. There's not, or game room, I guess it's technically called. I don't know. It's pool room. Who cares? But they get the pressure onto the Mira, so that person watching the back of sight is completely gone. The person that can cover the entire room from a bulletproof mirror, they don't have anyone back there to really fill that position. And then somehow, I don't know how they get that diffuse down, and they play that window so perfectly. They're watching any rush out, and Cole demonstrates that beautifully by immediately swinging and finding a nice headshot. And then would have got the flick if Neb didn't get there faster, and they have the vision of the diffuser just sitting there. If they wanted to ever go for a diffuse, North Dakota were ready to just throw nades, gun them down, and how do you pull that round back, honestly, is perfect execution.
You also had some really good timing, and you saw the Thorn running up Mudroom. If the peak hadn't gone out at the second that it did from the attack to get that kill, the round was a loss for North Dakota University, and we would still be commentating that match on Chalet. But because of the well-placed nades, because of the fully executed idea that they wanted to go for, they wanted that quick plant, and they got it. They got their win condition. And even if it was a 2v4 at the end of the day, you still have to worry about players playing outside, worry about all the utility that you have to push through. And the fact that NDU is very much ready for the defenders to have to flood them through some very narrow passageways. I mean, the big window on bar or on gaming, the window on Mudroom, and the window on library upstairs. All of it working against the defense to give North Dakota the 7-2 round win.
I'm just in awe. That was crazy.
Pretty incredible map. We'll be back for some more chaotic siege, I'm sure, just like this, though on a little bit more of a restricted map on Skyscraper. As soon as we come back in a few minutes, don't go anywhere.
You are going to have 60 seconds to name from memory as many R6 operators as you possibly can. Do not repeat any, as they will not count in your final score. You are going to have 60 seconds on the clock, and best of luck.
Twitch, Thermite, Ash, Montang, Blitz, Falk, Blackbeard, Grim, Clash, Nook, Warden, Aruni, Azami, Gridlock, Mozzie, Goyo, Amaru, Frost, Maru.
30
Buck.
seconds.
Be put on the spot here.
Oh no.
Vigil, Dokavi, Callie, Malusi,
Got
Ace.
10 seconds. Spitfire, you got
Pulse,
10 seconds.
Castle, Jaeger, Bandit.
3, 2, one. That is it. It's tough, isn't it?
It's rough to be put on the spot.
It's tough. It's tough to
And
be
not
put on the
repeat it.
spot. And not repeat is especially worse. This one was meant to test your knowledge. See what you can remember in 60 seconds.
Just like
Two pick from IUPY. The flash comes out, trying to push out connector. I'm sorry. And now it's looking like a 1v right there, waiting for the drop. It go down. We'll see one. Push when they got him pushed back. Gets another one. Gets another one. Oh, they're gonna.
Will.
I get what I want, don't need no genie.
Okay, dude. The two picks.
Ain't no beanie. Every time they see me, now they froze. No, there ain't.
If you can fade him into running it,
teach me. Rest in peace to Feeny. Got my own Topanga at the show.
Bravo was top square. Bravo
But I feel close to it. Got the speakers knocking on these doors, they keep on opening. Got the many yes men in your circle, how you supposed to be. If I put it in my girl and she don't like it, I ain't posting it. Rap game is the beast, popping up on the screen, laptop in the dream, top notch with the cheese.
You're better.
Nice stuff at a reach, hopscotching on beats, cause I just keep stepping on squares, these numbers increase. Whoa,
One on the right, one on the right.
money.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that sounded nice. Baby, the price, roll up the tongue, I'm saying it twice.
Nice,
Make
that's one
fun
dead,
of
one
me,
more
wish.
square.
Try to grant me
Pushing
3
in?
wishes,
Okay.
but I get what I want, don't need no genie. This right here a ticket, ain't no
Nice, Kevin. Let's go.
now they froze. No, there ain't a thing that you can't teach me. Rest in peace to feed me.
Warden was upstairs. Warden was upstairs. That's Warden dead. That's Warden dead. That's Warden dead. It's in connector. Can you go for plant? Swung blue. Yeah. Planting default. The last one was connector. She was connector.
Blue dead. Good guys. Good day.
30 seconds. Logan has denial. Down, left side. Oh, left side, Logan, left side. Another one left side.
Where at Jackson?
How about here?
Still left.
Down. Here. One just coming on EXO. Two bottom EXO. Last two bottom EXO. Coming your shield right now. One on the door. One coming to the door. Down. Behind you, Logan.
1 on 4 remaining.
I have base. We already won it. I'm good. I already killed this.
Welcome back, friends, to the Midwest R6 broadcast. I'm Sojourner Kai, joined by Box Kimchi, and if you are just now joining us, you would have missed Map 1 because it went by fairly quickly. It was a 7-2 victory in favor of Division 5 team North Dakota University over Garden Valley, not Grand Valley, because I got those backwards again. Grand Valley State University. So a 7-2, very quick match, very domineering performance, and here's the overall kill-death ratios as well as some stats between both of the players. Wagon, the only positive player, Duku going even for Grand Valley, but North Dakota having a lot more positive things going their way. And that match was, I would say explosive would be
very much, yeah.
for it.
Adequate term. But you can kind of see the discrepancies that we usually have. We saw this last week actually with PFW. Is they have one really or not PFW, was it Fair? I cannot remember. I feel bad for misremembering, but I believe it was Ions was like the only guy.
That was PFW.
Yes. It was the only guy and everybody else, and that's kind of what Grand Valley have. They have two dudes and everyone else, but it's very spread amongst North Dakota right now, and that is a really good thing to keep track of because they also are swapping their operators and roles around quite a bit on the defense.
Yeah, and they are swapping the roles around quite a bit, which means that they are a good cohesive unit, but we do have one specific player for you to watch going into this next match on Skyscraper. It'll be Tanks from the University of North Dakota or North Dakota University, depending on how you want to put in your gamer tag and how we are writing it here in our sheets for our production things. Anyway,
please don't flame us.
Each player rating of 47.98, right below that 50 mark, actually not too far off on Skyscraper, a 10 to 9 KD and a 36% survival rate and 0.71 kills per round. A player that'll have a pretty good impact for North Dakota if they want to make this 2-0, but Grand Valley might be putting up a fight depending on how things go once we jump right into our match here now.
All right, I want to point something out before we get into the game. I was tracking Ramen's kills because I remember 57. Ramen needs 1 kill this game. 1 kill. I was really pushing for Ramen to get it. I was hoping I would get to say it during the Chalet match. It was a big win. It felt really cool. Sadly, only got 2 kills, but 1 kill. And that would be every member of North Dakota over 60 kills on the year.
That's pretty impressive, actually. Like,
I mean, yeah,
15?
all 5 of your starters have 60 kills entering the, 6th game of the season?
It's like 12 kills per player, including your hard support, which is very impressive.
I mean, that's not even all their total kills. There's 2 players over 70.
They're that old and they're allowing them to compete. Anyway, that's we're getting into match bans here. Monty and Ying. Azami and Monty, not entirely surprising to see these operators gone. They do indeed, and they're still going to be claiming the top of that ban leaderboard. Ying as well going back onto the ban table. Not Flores this time around because it's not specifically Chalet. And Fenrir, despite the nerfs to that operator, will also be joining the ban group. You know, Azami's seen a lot of nerfs, still getting banned all the time. Fenrir's seen a lot, pretty sizable nerf. Also still getting bans, especially on Skyscraper, where you have a lot of tight doorways that you have to navigate through, a lot of awkward entry points, and that's exactly where Fenrir thrives. I think of like Consulate as being the consummate best map for Fenrir because you lock down yellow, you lock down pretty much anything with that operator, and it's just a misery to deal with.
I love that the nerfs really did change Fenrir. It brought him from the 2nd most banned operator from last season to the 3rd most. They really really hammered home those nerfs. Yeah, you do.
Yeah,
you, Ubisoft.
Really making us fear this operator now. Oh no, he will never be picked.
It's
you know,
like,
an operator that did take like significant nerfs though that has fallen off the radar for teams died is a Solace. We have not seen a lot of Solace.
I talked about it like opening week of the season, and it has not. It stayed true. That Solace has been dead. Who could have guessed not being Pulse anymore?
Right?
Better. Like, better pulse, better gun. I mean, you don't have C4. Better gun because you just have more damage compared to the ump because anything has more damage than the freaking ump. And you have farther range. Like, it's just absurd. They thought that was balanced on launch. And even after, I believe, initial nerfs, it still was too damn strong.
You're right, remembering that she didn't have C4, but she did have impact nades that you could use while you had your gadget up.
So basically, like a mini burst of damage, or you just click the head.
Or yeah, you like.
You had a lot of options with Solus on launch.
Absolutely insane operator. I think Malusi's another operator that we've seen change quite a bit. She used to be a 3-speed on when she was released with the T5, now has the MP5 and is a 1-speed operator, but still brought out here in this lineup by G on Grand Valley, because as an operator, Malusi is actually really good at gathering intel and slowing operators down. PMH has been spotted on drone here, by the way. Might be a little bit of a free fire.
Oh.
Never mind. It's Rocky to claim the kill.
A lot of bit of a free fire.
Oh. Wagon also caught inside a drum by the Lion. Has to retreat with a little bit of wounds to his name as well. Rocky's looking for the second one on the round if he can find it, but so far no dice. Daku is tucked inside a geisha as well in case there's more contention coming over from this side of the map. As Ramen runs by a mute jammer, it does look like they want to get this wall open. And Grand Valley looks a lot more active than they had on Chalet. Even though they have lost a player, the active roam that they've been holding off-site, which is currently held inside of the default of Tea and Karaoke, has looked a lot more promising compared to what they did on Chalet. As I say that, though, Potato is the next one to fall. Neb finds their location and makes it a 3v5.
I mean, both of these kills just kind of happening way off screen, not really expected, and I guess a bit of how the game has been going overall for Grand Valley, a bit of the oopsies, a bit of timings, and some misfortunate plays, as they're going to get chunked down on 2 members here, and now North Dakota starting to collapse onto the bomb sites. And the pressure is going to start being on in like 2 seconds. They can start opening this up, but G just going to put 1 bolt. Doesn't even need to spray. It's just 1 click. And that is immediately Neb gone, but that's a Zofia concuss coming out. Can they capitalize on it? They don't really know where anyone is at the moment.
10 seconds left.
Oh. Cole gonna... User was going down, but Ramen gonna get chunked down. Oh! Daku was waiting for that rotation from Rocky, and it's 3v1 as Tank just traded it back, and Guide and Cole gonna pick up the double there to open up this one for the win for North Dakota.
Such incredible drone work coming out from North Dakota. They know the walls that they have to open on the backside of Exhibition and Office in order to get that first part of the lateral take done on the Skyscraper. So they're able to push their way through Exhibition. They get the drone on the player of PMH who was on the Legion and catch him on the rotate. I believe from Terrace they had entered in. And so when he tried to retreat into VIP, he was just getting clapped from multiple angles, really. You had the gridlock going in the office wall, and then the one player from Terrace or Lounge killing him in VIP. I mean, there's really nowhere for that player to run because North Dakota had done so well on gathering that information. And information reigned king for the rest of the round, launching them into that 1-0 win. No, I don't think they'll even change anything about this lineup, because if it ain't broke, you don't have to fix it. It's, again, you know, the gridlock, the Grim, the Ace. Those operators key in gathering space for the attacking team, and also gathering a bit of intel. Rocky swaps off the buck onto a Jackal, so there is a slight operator change, but I think that might go into the intel that they have on this team as well. Grand Valley, a lot of the players are offside, aside from Daku on the mute. And G, who's sitting over by Geisha. That's kind of about it they have for site presence, so really good read in terms of operator picks. Now all a matter of wondering where they go. Hold on, there you go. Yep.
Or try.
Legit player can't hit a camera. No, I can relate. It's fine. It's just
everyone can relate. It's fine. Happens to the best of us and me.
Happens to let's just say it happens to all of us.
Yeah, happens to all Siege players. We all have our moments.
Exhibition wall being open again really early. I wonder if this will be something that Grand Valley can read into and adapt to. Oh, Wagon also brought pretty darn low. The Jackal track has also found his location. Some bees being shot into Dragon, but PMH actually gets the first kill on the Neb, so no more bees.
Oh, don't kill bees.
As he loses Sting. Wagon dropped the 5 HP, but PMH is there on Dragon. Ramen shoots him in the back through the shrine wall from the window.
Good job, Ramen, on the 60th kill, but you got to pull this round back as good refrag. They have Wagon at 5, and we've seen some crazy plays from 5, so I'm not going to count him out, especially with the Mean Cannon. Never can count him out with the Boss GA.
Wagon is Grand Valley's answer to Cole. And Cole's dead. So
you should have put him on Kaid, who is the answer to Cole, because honestly, the Boss G is a little bit worse than Kaid's shotgun.
Well, now hear me out, though. The TCSG and the Boss G, both of them slug shotguns.
True, but TCSG is a little bit better. Personally.
All right, no, I just do what you mean, yeah. Wagon's gonna eat up that last Jackal scan as well, but not a lot of remote information available from North Dakota. They do have 6 drones available to them.
Oh, yeah.
2 of them in Tank's pocket, so they have plenty of time to work with this. Potato takes a bit of damage too, and Wagon is a fraction away from death here. Potato has wedged themselves in back of T as well, so if North Dakota gets the right positioning here, they could pull off some nasty angles and collapse on these players of Grand Valley.
Oh, Tank's gonna find Potato, so yeah, caught between a rock and a hard place. The rock wins.
Come on, step on the tracks.
Hard place being Daku, who can swing over on the shrine door, sees 1 player, sees 2! Ramen, even though you got your 60th kill, you will also be receiving another death. Grand Valley holds strong inside of sight despite being pinched and pressured by North Dakota. Caught unawares.
Slow and methodical is the name of the game for Grand Valley in that round, and they just played the patience game. They knew they had the advantage. They knew they had that wall covered, most importantly, with the mute jammer. They don't have any impact made, or any impact EMPs on the side of North Dakota, dead or alive. So they never going to be able to clear out that T-room wall and really open up the site for get really important vision and intel. And so they would have to always swing onto Grand Valley. So if they anchored themselves properly and had advantageous angles, there's pretty much no chance North Dakota would win, save aim disasters on the side of Grand Valley.
Deploying explosive ordnance.
Attackers have located a
I was
bomb.
worried at the end of the round there, like, you have Wagon on 5 HP, you have Patoto, I think I keep saying Potato, it's meant to be Patoto.
Is it Potato? Are we getting flamed?
No, I don't think we're getting flamed. I'm just like realizing that I've been reading it wrong this whole time, and so
I've been saying it Potato. So I've been saying it Potato. You say Potato, so I think it's covered. I think we're good. They can't be mad at us.
Oh, you've just got a different accent to me. That's all.
One of us are saying it properly. It's like UND versus NDU. We were saying it both ways just to cover ourselves.
Yeah,
God, it's another recruit. How many recruit fixes that? That's the 3rd time I'm seeing recruit personally.
I actually really like the recruit pick personally. The M4 is a decent weapon, and getting 2 secondary gadgets cannot be underestimated because you aren't able to get yourself into sight. You have impact EMPs, and then you also have the harbor charges, the can openers. So you can get yourself into sight yourself.
You don't have a really cool primary gadget, but you also have just 2 really good utility options. That is the trade-off now. It also, yeah, you have good guns, and they tried to make this operator actually an operator and not the you didn't lock anybody in anymore option.
And then they removed that from ranked, and then if you had recruit, you were cheating, and, you know.
Oh.
Wagon
gets caught out from where?
I think the 6th on died from pronouncing all the names wrong. It's Wistrixon. Potato dies to tanks as well, so now we're in a 3v5. This swing into... Oh, no, Daku, you're not winning that one against Cole when you got the C7 in your hands.
Sounds
Guy named GNPMH. You're in a 2v5. How do you approach
The
now?
attacker's bomb diffuser has been
You're a
dropped.
sniper.
Attackers
I don't know if
cover
you
the
can.
diffuser.
Oh, just gonna go for the Hail Mary play. Doesn't find anybody with it.
I wonder what the intel is like as well for PMH to throw a C4 out like that. The hatch is still closed. You still have the Aruni barricade on it, so you know that there's nobody looking through it.
Assuming his cams are
now-
also up right now, though.
Changing mags.
It's true.
Teammate should be feeding him some info, as PMH gonna be able to find one, but gonna get traded back by Ramen, and it is an Aruni versus the world right now, and gonna get swung on by Neb, and that's just gonna be the nail in the coffin for that round. It was more of a formality than anything.
North, I was gonna say UND again. I keep
It is
messing- 'cause
UND.
Look
It
at their
is UND.
tags. They're all
Not-
UND. So are
not
we right or are we
NDU.
wrong? It
I
is
think you're
UND.
right. I believe it
Okay.
is UND.
Well, I'm going off the gamer tags at this point. Grand
We've been
Valley
flamed
timeout,
already.
by the way.
Yeah,
Grand Valley, they lost that round on defense, and I think what I think that Grand Valley is talking about here in this timeout is, what are we like? Why are we getting run over so quickly? Why are we allowing them to take so much space? Because that's really what I think it is. I think you're seeing UND take so much space by going into office and getting that breach in. They had breach charges last round. They had the ace to take it into office the first couple rounds. And without being able to contend that extended roam, without being able to hold down that extra part of the site, they keep getting swarmed because they have so little map control at the end of the day. So I want to see Grand Valley pull things back here by actually supplementing their roam, supplementing the fact that they are playing off-site pretty aggressively without being able to fall to really vulnerable and repeatable angles from UND.
Yeah, the one
protect your
round
bombs
that
from
they
being
did win
defused by
again, they
attackers.
kind of just turtled in the bomb site, on the bomb sites, and really relied on the fact that North Dakota didn't have any utility left to flush them out properly, more than it was a super,
Attackers
like they were
discovered the location
playing
of a bomb.
super well. Obviously, they played that situation well. Different situations don't always call for hyper roaming or extreme turtling, but I think I liked how they played rounds, like the first round way more. It felt like even though they lost, they were exerting pressure all throughout the entry points that North Dakota were contesting, and they were forcing them to try and make or to do something, which means that you can try and force some mistakes out. But these last two rounds have kind of been them slowly surrendering more and more to North Dakota's entry and just kind of pure fragging, and they need to fight back because turtling can only get you so far in very specific situations.
Yeah, especially when you have the approach that North Dakota has to gain as much control over the map as possible. And it's really, I think that's really been what's been biting Grand Valley in the tail here, is the fact that you're just not supplementing your drones quite as well. I mean, we do see one player, PMH, on the pulse, caught out by a drone inside a delivery, gets cut down in restaurant as well. Neb from goodness knows where exactly is the one to claim that kill. And now that Pulse, who could be playing down below Exhibition Office inside of the bedroom bathroom part of the map, is gone. So you don't have that threat to worry about anymore. In Grand Valley, they've lost a pretty key component for the late part of this round.
I mean, that's all their pressure. That's pretty much all their map pressure besides a single lesion down for pretty much the entire round as well. And it's off of the other thing that's really been working well for North Dakota and has been working hand in hand. You've mentioned both of these before, intel and map control. They've been exerting their map control and abusing that power by using the drone, like really good droning and sightlines. Oh my god. Speaking of great sightlines, Tanks finds an insane vert right there to pick off G and put another member down about 20 health. And it's been intel and it's been pressure that have been driving North Dakota this entire series. Oh, that's a tough pixel peek. Bro had the monitor covering Ducku's head. Ducku with a nice shot though. Dakota put down to 50% now.
A minute left. North Dakota have done all of the necessary initial checklist for getting themselves into this exhibition office site. The VIP wall is open. However, Take's body is open as it has been opened up by the AR-15 50 cal in Ducku's hands. Things have evened up here despite what looked like a little bit of a rocky start for Grand Valley. 2-1 is the score, but a 3v3 will give Grand Valley a little bit more confidence to be able to maneuver around in their site. North Dakota have to kind of scramble for that. However, your main wall is open on Office, your wall on VIP is open, and you don't have a whole lot of control over by Geisha. There is a late rotate coming in from Wagon to go onto drums, so they know that this player is here, but they might have to flick it around here. Potato is brought back full HP by the Dog. And only 15 seconds left. There's a player. Why is there a player over by Mezzanine? Wagon gets one. Potato gets another. It's only Neb in the middle of the site here with the diffuser, but he gets cut down by Potato, who's sitting inside a VIP. The T5, the Rome, the extremely late flank from Grand Valley pays off. North Dakota, despite having everything ready for the site, will fall, and the round differential will be tied.
Feels kind of odd as it feels like, again, another round where it didn't seem like Grand Valley were going to win. They lost one of their heaviest roamer and their biggest bottom floor presence in the Pulse instantly. Immediately got droned out and head click. But just the ability of PMH to reassert that on the Legion
defuse bombs.
is really, actually that might have been Potato. I feel like I'm mixing the orange operators up in my head too much.
PMH was the Pulse.
Pulse, yes. So that was Potato who pulled it back with the, and that was kind of what they were gonna have to rely on. They did get a really nice, what do you call it? A nice anchor from Daku, picking up 2 kills, with one of them being a very odd-looking pixel peek, but it worked out in the end. Just evening those numbers and then getting that Legion on the roam, or keeping that Legion on the roam, really did keep the pressure and keep the movement going for the team, even though they already had, it was technically like a 2v3 while North Dakota was pushing onto the side.
And it was. UND also not satisfied with the more measured takes that they had with the Ace, instead going for the rush comp, the one that's a lot more aggressive. We are here to kill you kind of composition. Yeah, I mean, Deimos tells the Blitz where to go, says Blitz go kill, and points in a direction, and that's kind of that's really what the operator lineup says to me. Is like, all right, Blitz go kill. There's a guy over here, go kill.
Is this the ultimate expression of this map pressure, movement, and intel like we've been seeing from North Dakota? Like, this is the final evolution of it. A Deimos, Doke, and Blitz with Grim. It just feels like this is the ultimate form of it now, as they're going to start tracking Wagon. And, uh-oh. You're going to have the dog sicked on you, buddy. Oh, nice play there. The mute jammer coming in clutch to deny the helicopter. Oh, but he has the vertical, going to get G down to 5 health on the spray. Bombing down to 60 himself, though, so it's playable.
Bomb located by attackers.
Bomb goes out. Flashbang now onto the site. Oh, the wraparound from Rocky means that he's gonna find 2. But Wagon denies the second shot. The Doc trying to heal up from far range as Tank's able to get the swing onto Toto, takes a huge chunk of damage, and now Daku going to get 1 in response. It's 3v3. The Doc is down. Tanks with a double kill. And the C4 will be nice, but Daku gives his life for it, and now it's 2v1. Legion versus 155 health, and they can track him one last time with this Deimos.
Yeah, I should track him twice. Once the timer expires and the cooldown goes back up, they'll know exactly where he's located.
Think they can. I think it's 1 per operator, right?
I thought it worked like Jackal. That was my understanding. Anyway, they're very well aware that he's over by Mezzanine. He moves as soon as that call goes out, but the F90 on the doorway is enough to claim the life of the Legion player.
That was straight
Another
up
round for North Dakota.
That was straight up instant. Oh my goodness. We just saw the helicopter arrive on screen, and he was dead the moment it was.
It was a good reaction time for sure. I think he might have been trying to swing
as well, yeah,
right before it happened, so he mistimed the drone a little bit, but either way.
He knew he was in danger, and yeah, he's like, I'm in danger, gotta go for some kind of play. I can't just sit down and hope that they don't come for me while I'm marked for 4 seconds. Might be longer than that, honestly.
Besides tea and karaoke again, by the way. 4 of the rounds that Grand Valley have defended in this opening half of 6 has been on this bomb site. And they've been ping-ponging back and forth in terms of the rounds. North Dakota wins one, Grand Valley wins another. North Dakota wins the next one, Grand Valley wins their next one. North Dakota won the attack on the last round on tea and karaoke, as they did in the opening round. And now we're in round number 6, again on tea and karaoke, which Grand Valley might win if the pattern is to be believed. Kind of playing table tennis back and forth with each other with these rounds so far. A little bit more of a closely contested match than Chalet was.
This does feel like a bit more of a balanced comp coming out of North Dakota, though. Less just full focus on intel and send a blitz at somebody to take their to just blind them and melee them to death. This is a bit more of a balance between taking space with operators like the Grim and the Gridlock and the Zofia, and intel with the Jackal and the Grim. So a bit more of a healthy balance with a little bit of hard breach thrown in for good measure.
They found the dock inside of office, but they're able to clear the drone out immediately. He'll rotate and retreat back into bedroom. Nobody on the window directly. The problem is upside down rappel just in case of a run out here. Wagon doesn't seem keen on doing that though. PMH does seem keen on removing the head of tanks, as you would as a defender. You want to clear out the attackers, but that's your Gridlock gone, and a player that has had a lot of impact on this match. The top frag for North Dakota on these rounds to date, and Wagon gets down, but he gets picked up immediately by his own power. PMH makes it 2 on the round. Neb is the next to fall, and Wagon is there to combine. Cole, the last player, the most recent player to hit the floor for North Dakota, and these dock stims have been paying in dividends because they heal for 200 HP. They overshot it because they wanted to make sure that they healed every last bit that you can get. But Wagon has gotten so much mileage out of the MP5 and being able to just be a nuisance and be a bullet sponge, really. That's what Doc is at the end of the day. Because now, North Dakota faces down a 5v2. These Jackal scans will be instrumental in figuring out where at least one operator is, but you have to find out where 5 of them are. Massive disadvantage to play into. Wide swing! Rocky claims the life of Wagon. Those stims will be utilized no longer. It's not a flawless round for Grand Valley either. All they need to do is not overstep their bounds. Potato is the next conundrum here, though.
Sitting here the whole time?
I believe so.
It feels... I thought it was a 4v1. I just... Oh, there's a loaf of bread. Oh, they're gonna get the swing! No! They couldn't see through the bulletproof... Like a bootleg mirror windows. Potato's gonna really cut it down to 1 this time. And Rocky's just lying in wait.
To his teammate's death, he just knows that there's that player over by Shrine on top of Mez, but they're more aware that he might be on Terra's side. But these footsteps will make the Thorn aware. Thorn, hello?
He's walking.
Any headphones havers? Hello? Rocky gets one more off of the Thorn, who is looking in the totally wrong direction, assuming that the ace is going to be backed up by the other player remaining. But there's so many angles that Rocky has to work with, and G is tucked into a corner in karaoke and settles the round for Grand Valley after they lost 2 players in what was previously a 2v5.
I mean, we're dead even, so this is mathematically the better of the 2 maps if you want like hyper competitive or more competitive R6, and that's an Echo coming out, so I'm already biased. I like this team more. I'm a big Echo fan. I'm bad at Siege, so I just drone.
Do you play the shotgun on Echo as well? Because that's definitely the more fun loadout in my opinion.
It is, but also Supernova just gives me dopamine. I like the silence guns a lot.
That's understandable.
Something about the suppressor noise. It's like, oh, it's so good.
It like has satisfying sound. I agree. Robin's bringing the MP5 to silence though. The coward.
I love that thing. The brain, it's neuron activation when you could take someone's head off with that, because it is just a straight up unfair gun. I don't know. It feels like Echo's kit should be overbearing, but
it used to be worse. I remember back in my day when the drones turned invisible, and yeah, they were very
kind of not invisible. Full invisibility was not a great idea.
I don't know why they did
Attacker's
that.
objective is to locate
I
a
think
bomb
they thought
and
it would be
defuse
too easy to spot it out in a game based around like pure intel already, where you're already looking for these things, but they blend in pretty well if you know where you're hiding already, so a bit of overcompensation. Then eventually got removed, so it's not that big a deal anymore.
I like how it looks like Neb almost fell down the hatch there as well. He's like, well, right, I have that open. I gotta go run around it.
Yeah. You've seen a couple unwanted accidental rotations to the bottom floor. So, don't want that usually happening because you gotta completely reposition your team.
Attackers have dropped the
Or
bomb.
panic to get back in that
Attackers
position.
recovered the bomb.
Avoid it all. Just avoid it outright. Remember what hatches you've opened.
Duck has made his way into Exhibition Hallway here, by the way. This, the strategy that North Dakota had employed in the way of trying to get the rotates open as early as possible. Tanks gets a wild shot through the wall. I think that was through the wall. No, it wasn't. Never mind. I thought it was through the wall into Shrine, but no, it was actually from the back of Drum into the player who was rotating through Lounge there. But still, Ducku caught unawares, and that's an ace player down. That is your hard breach going into sight if you do end up making your way into Mezzanine or clearing this deployable shield that's sitting on top of Shrine and Dragon. So this could be pretty deadly. Oh, a little bit of a wide swing from Rocky. Almost gets punished, but gets away with the remainder of his HP.
Oh,
Still
this
a
is
big
a bit of the
Oh, boy.
off-brand. Yeah, the off-brand, the OG Womai strategy. Oh, you can't get that. That's not a drone. That's a bomb on a drone.
I remember the Claymore Roomba was what people were calling that when it first came out.
It is. Not really. It's way funnier than a Claymore.
Uh-oh.
I don't think that was a corner that he was hiding in, so it's okay. Trying to cut someone's feet off, doesn't find anybody. Don't the other corner. Oh, the swing doesn't hit the headshot! Gets so much of the health bar, and it's gonna be followed up by G. And oh, grabs a second one. He's gonna even the numbers, but there's the third swing on the original swing. Don't ask questions. It's really complicated, but it's 3v2 for North Dakota right now.
Not expecting the player to be playing on Mezzanine Drop. That's like a cheese location that you see in ranked because it's a corner that some players can tuck themselves into. And North Dakota make it work. There's a flurry of trays that goes out onto Mezzanine and Drum. And Grand Valley, despite the okay opener.
What?
Oh no, a C4 goes flying out from beneath. PMH goes sky high. Wagon is there to claim one back, but there's only 10 seconds. You have a mirror to deal with, a player on site, and a player downstairs. You don't know where anyone is. The Mag 44 goes out, but he doesn't see the player tucked behind his sights. It's a sidearm battle as Rocky is the one who ends up victorious for UND. A little bit of a clown fiesta, one would say, huh, Kimchi?
Is that the worst of all, like, the forced sight guns? Like, is that one for, like, you look at all the guns that have built-in sights. Like, I think it's Ella's pistol, and then Kaid, and is it
Nomad?
Nomad. I think they share it though. That's why.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
Attackers need to locate and defuse
It's like
as many
that's
bombs
just
as they
it's
can.
comedically large. How are you supposed to aim with that thing? You can't see the opponent.
The funny thing about, I do think it is the worst sight for a sidearm.
Yeah, Maestro as well. I'm sorry, I was thinking of Maestro and whoever he was paired with. I can't remember right now.
Oh, Alibi, yeah.
Yes,
The
Alibi
Bailiff.
also shares the Bailiff, which is my favorite gun because I have a legendary skin for it. Thank you, Ubisoft, for the free legendary. It's terrible, but I use it.
It's good for making rotates. I like using it for that. It's a good utility gun.
Yeah, sucks that you can't kill anyone with it, but why would you even switch off the all dude? You can hold that thing down for 10 years and it wouldn't run out of ammo.
Attackers are moving out. To
Doesn't
locate a
have
bomb.
recoil really, and we do see a Maestro being brought out in this round.
Yeah, that's why I remembered Maestro's name.
It's got that Spartan helmet icon. I think like one of the cool looking icons for operators as well.
I do love icons that mess with the barrier in some way. It's very silly. And it's very spooky, which is weird because that's not at all what Maestro is. But you know what? Good job on design, UV.
Over time, the operator icons like started getting less and less related to the operator themselves or the gadget.
Malusi's is a tree.
Yeah.
What, is it because she's from the continent that has very tall trees like that? Yeah, that's not vague and broad at all. It's not like it's an entire continent.
She was, you know, we don't have to get into lore. We have PMH on the death mark, but all these are failing thanks to the help of the mute jammer. So it'll be sent back into Deimos's pocket on cooldown. You'll have to wait a little bit longer and find a different operator that's not on a mute jammer. Well, it'll depend on how they're set up here too. Hatch is open to go into kitchen in case you want that rotate.
This one as well. Yeah, this gun. This is significantly better. Just look how small that crosshair is. It's nice. Visible.
Reticle's a lot smaller, and also the recoil of this gun is a lot more manageable.
I was talking about the sight of it. We were talking about 4 sight guns before.
Right.
But it is a really nice gun. Like, it packs quite the punch. It was like an old Kavera pistol before they nerfed the mess out of it. It was too good at 1v1s.
Tex is also extremely good at 1v1s, but Toto is the first one to die. No more funny sights on the Nomad pistol.
Thank God.
Mira is the first one to strike, and these castle barricades, plus the mute jammer, is buying so much time, but they do get a drone past the wall to spot the mute on the mezzanine. So it'll be up to Wagon to swing this, but you're up against an SMG-11 and Rocky holding the cross from the little divot inside of Drum. So even if you do want to swing this, you don't have full intel available for you, Wagon. A nade goes out possibly to dissuade the location of this player. He does get pinged briefly. Duku does find Ramen, who was that player on the mezzanine. But PMH is on 29 HP, and Rocky is still tucked away inside a Drum here. Could absolutely play spoiler for Grand Valley if they aren't aware of his location. And Rocky will.
He's traded back. Oh, double trade. Very confusing trade.
Really close.
Oh my God, no.
15 seconds left.
He has to do. He didn't take breach charges, so he has to do the 11 or 12 melees. Oh, but the 1v1 doesn't connect. The Vector fires a lot more bullets than a pistol cannon. Now down to 6 seconds. No way! She finds that. Going for the plant. C4 doesn't connect there, and he's just got to run it. Yeah. It's just a run and shoot in the back situation. Not that hard for Cole to clean up the round, and it is North Dakota. I believe that is 5 now with them.
The Maestro cams as well, while we didn't see them deny the plant directly, they had the intel on the player behind the bench in office. So that was a pretty easy layup, pretty easy communication to send to your bandit as to where the player is sitting. North Dakota cleaned things up. Grand Valley.
First Thatcher.
No, we saw Thatcher.
Did we see one Thatcher? I swear we've only seen non-Thatcher EMPs this game.
No, we've seen Thatcher. We saw Thatcher last round as well. It was being played, but yeah, Duku played it, but then Duku got traded out immediately in that kind of flurry that brought us down to the 2v2. So
I just mix him up with Sledge all the time because Sledge is cooler. If you play Thatcher, you're kind of cringe. If you play Sledge, you're base though.
Sledge is also an operator that you don't see very often nowadays. No. They took away the SMG-11, they broke his kneecaps, so now he's a 1-speed, and they nerfed nades. And so you're like, well, we don't have like good nades to use anymore, and we have Ram, and we have Buck. Both of which are more effective, arguably, at soft
He contested Buck for a while. He contested Buck.
He did, yeah.
And then he lost the sniper rifle. This is just this is, oh my God, they're running the, I did not expect anyone to run the one-shot combo, but they are running it.
Oh, the Frost Legion.
Yes, I'm sure everyone watching knows this already. This is as old as the game itself, or as old as Legion, at least. You would just put frost mats under windows, put a Legion mine on top of them. The frost mat would trigger, and then the Legion mine would trigger right next to it, and it would insta-kill.
I like the setup from North Dakota, too. A lot of presence over by the mezzanine side to make sure that if someone does try to push into Geisha or any other part of that map, they won't have the ability to do so freely. But instead, Duku has found maybe a crack in the armor here. There's no deployable shield that we normally see on mezzanine.
They know there's someone there now.
It is the question. The wall is open. It'll be a matter if he peeks it. Oh, it's good.
They're both like on their delayed reaction.
No way!
Are you kidding me, Tanks?
That's the
God, I
second
love
time-
Frost Gun.
That's the second time that we've seen something like that come out from North Dakota. If you recall on Chalet, we had Cole fire through the wall into Library to catch the player that had jumped into the
That is-
smaller
oh.
window.
That was
UND
also crazy.
have done their homework on the
Oh.
maps that they're playing today.
He missed the Legion mine.
Wait, the Ace or the Twitch? Because
Attackers
both of them
drop
have
the
the potential to
diffuser.
miss. Wagon's
Ace.
missing a bit of HP, too.
I believe Ace missed the Legion mine right there.
Attackers recover the bomb diffuser.
Oh,
This is a
I
really
see.
covered wall. This is one of the very hard sites to break through. I thought that was the shot going through for Wagon, but it was G evening up the numbers once again.
We're still so worried about this top floor because they haven't had the time to really clear it out, or the utility. After Duku, who was playing the Flores, died on that wall there, the game kind of slowed down quite a bit. It'll slow down even more as PMH meets their demise. Wagon does get Neb back, but Rocky is there to combine for the kill. Great shot from
What is
Dakota.
going on? Just
It's
everyone
a frag map going on here. They're all waiting for each other to
Oh,
peek, but
baby.
Cole is inside a sushi behind the bench, ready to serve up some cold TCSG slug shots. Potato in the 1v2 with only 23 seconds remaining.
Photo
That's not-
going.
That's not sight.
That's not sight.
15
now they're
seconds
here.
remaining.
They can see it. Then a spray comes through for Cole. And it's just... they kind of made it look easy. Like, it was contested for a little bit, but then just UND ran away with it.
Round number 10, it's match point for UND. They've won the last 3 in a row, doing the regular circuit of tea, office, and barbecue. And they'll go back to tea room and karaoke. Possibly to seal this round out. Mira being a mainstay in North Dakota's lineup, and for very good reason. It has been extremely effective. I mean, we even saw tanks
Attackers need to
on
locate and defuse as
the
many bombs
exhibition
as they
office round that they played 2 rounds ago get a couple of extremely impactful kills while sitting inside a lounge on that Mira window. Because honestly, what do you do when you're not prepared to deal with it? You really can't do much. And I think this is an operator that I think that is underrated in how powerful she still is, despite the fact that Azami exists. You understand what I'm saying here? It's still a really good operator.
I mean, there's just... I don't believe Azami has a C4. C4s are pretty good. Also, one-way mirrors are really good as well. Azami, it's kind of, you have to sacrifice yourself a little bit. You do have to peek still.
5 seconds
With mirror, you
remaining.
get all that intel for anybody, and what are they gonna do about it? And you, again,
Attackers are
you could
moving
chuck a
out to
C4
locate
from
a bomb
anywhere.
and defuse it.
Don't play her wrong, but you could do that if you really are a psychopath.
Rocky
And
could
also now
potentially
that
go
they
for-
are, and they're bulletproof. Like, Azami is no longer bulletproof, so that is another chip in the armor for the Azami pressure.
Yeah, Azami's more bullet resistant. The thing is, oh wow, Wagon is well aware of Neb's jump out.
Okay, that throws a wrench in a lot of things. I was going to say before that happened, the one thing that really keeps Azami that higher ban pressure, because we did mention Azami is the second most banned operator of the season, is just the utility of it. You could put it anywhere, or versatility. You could put it anywhere. Mira needs a set wall and usually a reinforcement to go with it. Azami, you could just plop them anywhere you're holding, and they can't do anything. So that probably is why she's more priority.
Geisha wall's been opened by Wagon, one of the first things that you do for a T-room attack. Duku has been brought down to a single digit of HP inside of VIP, but still managed to escape with his life for now. Brought up a little bit by a Finka.
That's permanent health, right? They changed. The things they've done. Finka. Cole gonna be able to find Wagon there. Tank's gonna be able to take Duku. The 20 health did not really do much of saving there.
We might be on to the end of the game here. A 2v4 for Grand Valley on attack. None of your hard breachers are left remaining to breach into site, which is inside of T-Room Karaoke. Even though you were able to get the wall open into Geisha, that's only one step of many that you need to do to get things going. Pototo's going to have a bit of a Hail Mary as he flies into Shrine, catches a little bit of HP off of Rocky, but he could be dead ASAP.
That's two.
Holding a
nice.
tight angle here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, and Pototo's down.
Oh.
Cole is there for both. A guy named G will be the last name in the scoreboard as North Dakota put their name in lights to round things out 7-5 on Skys. 7-3 on Skyscraper. 5 rounds won in total by Grand Valley as North Dakota shows off a domineering win and goes 4-1 in Division 5.
Yeah, there was a swagger to the games from UND today. They seemed really comfortable, really confident, and it reflected in the play. They executed almost every round to a T, and the rounds they didn't execute, it really seemed that they had a hold on the round still in some capacity, and it was really up to GVSU to find more answers, or I guess that's logically what happens, but it felt more like when they did lose rounds, it was like slight mistakes rather than GVSU solving their strategy.
Yeah, definitely. A couple of slight mistakes here and there that go awry. And you're not an invincible team. There will be times in Siege where some variables you don't account for or a slight different change in strategy will catch you off guard and you'll drop a couple of rounds. But all that being said and done, very domineering performance from UND. After the 3 rounds have been won by Grand Valley, they didn't win a single one after that. UND ran away with it on defense, as you do on Skyscraper, typically speaking. But the first half was not an indicator of how the rest of the game went, and UND very much deserved their win and showed that they are deserving of the 4-1 record here in Division 5. I think, are we going on to a player interview after
You
this?
got an interview after this, so don't turn off the stream quite just yet, because we're going to get an interview with one of the players from the winning team. I almost said GVSU. It was not UND. So we'll see you for that, and then we'll actually close out the day.
It's total calamity, total mayhem inside of the server. Out of nowhere, they find the round back into their favor.
Holding up for the blood, the wave.
And I think he might just find it!
Tap tap, yeah, I want that. No lines, I don't cut back. Sweet, salty, and all that. Let loose, come get that. Can you play that back, back, back? Can you run that back, back, back? I'm trying to play that back, back, back. I want that. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Right here, can you feel? Let's go. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Right here, can you feel that? Ooh, you feel that? Ooh, the real back. Ooh, I'm still that. Ooh, you catch that? Ooh, I guess that. The best back. Yeah, yeah. 30,000 up on my pallet. Might jump out if I'm wildin'. Catch my flow, I'm so stylish. Tap tap, real smooth. Can you play that back, back, back? Can you run that back, back, back? I'm trying to play that back, back, back. I want that. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Tap tap, let's go, let's go. Right here, can you feel? Let's go.
I'ma give it all I got, can't quit, can't stop. I'ma be shut it down like this. You ain't coming to my house, you ain't about what I'm about. I'm taking nothing down. Defense wins games, whatever it takes. I bring it. Defense wins games, whatever it takes. I bring it. I'ma give it all I got, can't quit, can't stop. I'ma be shut it down like this. Defense wins games, whatever it takes. I bring it out.
pick from IUPY. The flash comes out, trying to push out connector. I'm sorry. And now it's looking like a 1v right there, waiting for the drop. Go down. We'll see one. Push when they got him pushed back.
Gets another one. Gets another one.
Oh, they're gonna.
But it feels weird because like in a name so fast, it's getting so jacked up and die.
Yeah, I get what I want, don't need no genie.
Okay, dude.
This right here is ain't no beanie. Every time they see me, now they froze. No, there ain't.
If you can bait them into running at you.
Rest in peace to Feeny. Got my own Topanga at the show.
Bravo is top square.
But I feel close to it. Got the speakers knocking down these doors that keep on opening. Got the many yes men in your circle, how you supposed to be. If I play that girl and she don't like it, I ain't posting it.
What's working?
Rap game is the beast, popping up on the screen, laptop and the dream, top notch with the
You're better. You're better.
stuff at a reach, hopscotching on beats, cause I just keep stepping on stairs, these numbers increase. Whoa,
One on the right, one on the right.
money.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that sounded nice. Baby, the price, roll up the tongue, I'm seeing it twice. Make one, but I don't keep wishing. Try to grant me 3 wishes, but I get what I want, don't need no genie. This right here will took it, ain't no
Nice, Kevin, let's go!
See me how they froze. No, there ain't a thing that you can't teach me. Rest in peace to feed me.
Warden was upstairs. Warden was upstairs. What's Warden dead? That's Warden dead. That's Warden dead. In connector. Can you go for plant? Swung blue. Yeah. Yep. Plant you default. The last one was connector. Just use connector.
Blue dead. Good guys. Good day.
2 10s kissing by themselves. 20 simultaneous.
30 seconds.
Logan has denial. Down, left side. Oh, left side, Logan, left side. Two, another one left side.
Where, Jackson? Above here.
Still left. Down. Here. One coming on EXO. 2 bottom EXO. Last 2 bottom EXO. Coming to your shield right now. 1 on the shield. 1 coming to the door. Down. Behind you, Logan.
1 on 4 remaining.
I have ace. We already won it. I'm good. I already killed this one.
Welcome back, friends, to the Midwest R6. We have just concluded one of our Week 5 matches of UND up against Grand Valley State University. It was a domineering 2-0 performance, and of course, we do have one of our players here in the form of Neb. How are you doing tonight, Neb, and how do you feel to be one of the top teams in D5?
No. It's Ramen.
Wait, it's Ramen? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I misread the player name because I just
Oh,
see
wait,
the
Neb's on
team name at the bottom there.
Neb's on
So sorry
cam.
about that. Yeah, so it's Ramen. But yeah, Ramen, how do you feel about being one of the top teams in D5 now that you're 4-1 here today?
I think we're misplaced.
Yeah,
I think you deserve D4.
yeah. Well, expand on that. Like you guys feel like you're just playing way out of your league. I mean, obviously, like 7-2, 7-3 on these two maps. You feel pretty confident going to the weeks forward, of course, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's a reason behind this. For our program, our tryouts are like 2 or 3 weeks after the start of the semester. And so how the timeline went for us is I got my team Monday. Wednesday was the first round of qualifications, and we went 0-3 because I can't do too much in 2 days, especially when I only have 6 hours of practice between 2 days. So that was like, we definitely like, I mean, I don't want to like blame it like, oh, everyone we played that day was really bad. We played Illinois that day. We played Miami, Ohio. We played Iowa. I'm pretty sure that was our first 3 right there. And I mean, those teams are really good at the end of the day, but I think we could have done better, and we could have definitely went 1, 2, 2, 3 or 2 out of 3 that day, and that could have definitely helped our score and maybe put us up to that Division 4 that we want to be in.
Yeah, I totally understand the reasoning behind all that. And that also came off the back of Skyscraper, which you guys did lose in overtime the last time that we saw that map, but clearly an extremely confident pick for you guys and something that you might be using in the future as well.
Well, maybe after it's been streamed, might be switch up some strats, but yeah.
That's fair.
And I mean,
Yeah.
Thrion, because we played Thrion on that map, and that was kind of like our big outlier. We've had very much success, especially in our scrims. I think we scrimmed it 16 times. We've only lost it twice. And I mean, kudos to Thrion. I forget who the player is on Thrion, but they had a vigil that we had a bad day on, and that vigil just ran our fade. And so kudos to him. And I mean, we brought it 6-8 on a bad day, so I'm happy with it at the end of the day.
Kind of speaking on your performance, getting better, kind of plays to what I was saying. You guys seem to be really comfortable with each other. I saw a lot of you guys kind of passing around the same operators. No one was really locked into one super specific role the entire game. Like, you were playing utility, and then even then you would switch over to the Frost, or we would see your top fragger switch over to like a gridlock. Like, no one seems to be playing the super solidified roles that we see some teams do. You guys really comfortable and versatile in like all facets of the game, it seems.
Yeah, and it definitely comes back. Like, I have a great team this year. I'm very, very happy with our team and how our tryouts went this year. And so I literally went in saying to my team day one, I can put you guys on whatever role and I'm happy with anything. So to me, it came to a coin toss. I think our entry fragger, the reason he's entry fragger is because he can shoot like balls faster. He can aim labs the best. That's seriously how it came down to.
Yeah, Liam genuinely is not a good entry frag. Well, genuinely stretches it, but Tanks was our initial entry flag, and Liam kind of just showed out on him. It was just an obvious choice after a couple of games. Like, even I was surprised to find that Kyle was switching them out.
Yeah, I mean, just some adjustments, micro adjustments, and we're getting there as a team. I mean, we're trying to catch our number 1 team, but they're crazy.
Yeah. I mean, it sounds like you're making good progress if you guys are like, you went from 0-3 in the qualifiers, and 4 or 5 weeks of practice and games has gotten you here. I think it's been a pretty good improvement, to say the least.
Yeah, and I mean, we bought in every single one of those games of our quals, and it was like, okay, this guy didn't drone this, or like we didn't drone this as a team, or we didn't throw one capital down and they made a play. Like, every single one of those games was just those little mistakes. We ironed those out like week 1, week 2. We got those out, and we've just been rolling ever since.
Clearly. And this last question, directed specifically towards you, is with your performance today, you've became the 5th member of the team. Your whole starting lineup has picked up 60 kills on the season, and that is a pretty crazy stat to have in week 5. So how does it feel to like really have just high frag counts across the board for everyone?
We shoot back. What can we say?
That is, I mean, factually correct. I
got
can't really
the
argue
facts.
it.
We shoot back.
Shoot back, and yeah, they say they should be in D4, and they're playing like it. So thank you, Ramen, for the interview, along with some commentary from Neb and the camera work. Thank you for GVSU and NDU for the games. Thank you, Kai, for putting up with my nonsense for like 2 hours.
It's UND.
UND. Oh my god. We'll fix it. We'll remember it. Yeah,
Not
we're already
North
getting.
Dakota University.
We messed it up.
Yeah, those
throughout
guys
the
out
stream.
south, they suck.
Oh, there is beef. And with all that cleared up, thank you for tuning in for today. Thank you for UND and GVSU for putting on a phenomenal match for us. We will see you next week with the match of the week, maybe matches of the week. Spoiler warning.
Have a good night.
Adios.